Silicone is an important part of keeping our RV sealed, but it can be very, very messy. A couple of tips when using silicone. First of all, if you're going to be doing a lot of it and wiping it off of around windows, cap sealing, that type of stuff, I would use one of the synthetic gloves like this, the rubberized gloves. I can just put that on, run my fingers across it, then I don't have it all over myself. It's nice and smooth, so I don't have to worry about the bead I leave on the side of the RV. There are a couple of other things, like this little paddle here. They make a variety of different angles, so I don't even have to touch the silicone. I just simply run it along the edge like this. They do make different angles, so I can put a larger bead on it if I have a straight 90 or a different type of crease that I'm going across here. The important thing is if you get silicone on the side of an RV, you want to get it off as soon as possible, because if you leave it on, it's going to start to attract dust, dirt, it's going to blacken, and then it's also going to be really hard to get off. And this happens to be one that we put on here a little earlier, and you can see that it doesn't wipe off very well. It still stays in here. Now there are some products on the market. There are some silicones that you can actually buy that will clean up with water and soap. However, most of those are not really good for outside use. They're not going to dry as well. It's going to take a lot longer. And they just don't seal quite as well. So we need to look at some products that we can take this off with. Now, the old school guys would just use lighter fluid, or they would use rubbing alcohol, or a product called a D12, any type of acetate. You got to be careful with these if you're taking it off fiberglass or decals especially. You don't want to ruin that surface. You don't want to ruin the gel coat on fiberglass, but this one you can see here, we just put a little bit on, and it does wipe it off fairly well. Now the problem with this, again, it's a pretty caustic material. If I get some on my hands, which I seem to do all the time when I'm working with silicone, it's really sticky. There's a product on the market here that I like. It's called Goo Gone, and it's just very mild. It will do a variety of different cleanups, but you just put a little bit of this on here. Move this over, and we just see inside the nails. And the thing I like about this is I got a little bit of dry skin here anyway, and I got a few cracks, and some scrapes and stuff like that. If I were to use the lighter fluid, it would be stinging pretty well. This stuff is very mild, doesn't hurt my hands at all, and as you can see, it takes the silicone off very well. So if you're working with silicone, take a little precautions, find some of the materials that works best for you, and you can make the best of a messy situation.